We're coming live to you from Our Lady of the Prairie Retreat. We have about a minute before our bee show begins. You can see how beautiful the prairie is today. Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm the Communications Director for the Congregation of the Humility of Mary, and we sponsor the ministry of Our Lady of the Prairie Retreat, which is where we're broadcasting from today. Today is the UN World Bee Day, and the reason for this is to bring awareness to the importance of bees and other pollinators such as bats and butterflies and others. Without these pollinators, our world food supplies would be threatened, and bees are being threatened due to land development taking away their habitat, pesticides, and pollution. So World Bee Day has been established in order to raise awareness about the importance of bees. You know, there's three things that you could do to celebrate Bee Day. One, buy local honey and support your local beekeepers. It's so healthy for you. Two, maybe establish a pollinator garden on your deck or in your garden. You can go pick out the seeds yourself or buy a kit. And we have pollinator strips all up and down the driveway here at Our Lady of the Prairie Retreat. And finally, raise awareness, especially among children and adolescents, so they understand the importance of bees. Okay, today we are going to have a tour of our beehives here at the Prairie. We have 6 working hives, and Mr. Bob Rowe, the Prairie Beekeeper, is going to take it away.
Okay. The reason I got into it about 14 years ago, and lately bees have been declining. There's multiple feelings on that. Some have said pesticides, some have said the coal mine that come in from Russia. They also have tracheomites, nosema. There's all kinds of things that attack the bees. They're just like us. When their immune system's down, everything attacks them. So we take, and every so many years, we try to replace the comb in it because of different chemicals being brought in and the comb absorbing it. So we take the comb off, strip the comb off, let the bees rebuild new wax so that they don't continue to affect the bees throughout the seasons. Out here at the prairie, there's no chemicals. Farm fields, corn, beans, and that, hay crops around, so that they can go and collect pollen and nectar. So it's a great place here. I don't really know how many acres. There's probably 100, 150 acres.
Exactly.
Here. Right now, the locust trees have a lot of nectar coming out of them that they're collecting from. The dandelions are coming to the end for the spring, which are some of the first crops they get. The dandelions and the maple trees. Yeah, the sap comes up in the maples that they can collect. So they'll be going through the prairie here. There's a lot of wildflowers that they planted throughout the prairies that will help the bees and bring in more honey. So we hope that this set of bees are Saskatraz.
Can you say that again?
Saskatraz, I believe it is pronounced. This bee, I believe, was brought up, if I'm right, by a priest. He bred them out of several different types of bees in order to get the best docile bees going through the winter and also bringing in honey. So Sometimes they're docile. Today's cloudy, so they might be a little on the ornery side. We've got a good breeze blowing through, so we'll try opening up a hive, and then maybe after that we can have some questions.
Okay, thanks.
All right,
here we go.
this is a friend of mine, Mike Sissel, who helps with the bees. He likes helping extract, especially because it's very sweet and tasty.
And this is a friend of mine, Earl Hampton, who's here assisting with photography. And there's the director of the Prairie back there, Sister Margaret.
This is one of the smaller hives. Open up and see if there's. This box should be empty.
I mean that top box.
Yeah, the top box is empty. This here. They're really gonna start coming out.
Gives you little chills.
Yeah. This here is a full frame of honey on both sides of it.
How many frames are in there?
This is a 10 frame Langstroth style hive. That's got some pollen that they've brought in, the different colors, the reds and yellows. They're bringing in a lot of that type pollen at this time. Okay, now this one here, you can see the pollen on its pollen packets on the back of its legs. There's another one down here. Yeah, we brought in a lot of pollen so far.
That's good. They look fat.
Okay, now these here, these are all brood cells. These are the new workers that the eggs have been laid. The ones popped up here, these are drones, which are the males. This is the queen cup, which there's nothing in it. They don't need a new queen yet. So there is a queen in here. She has been laid. If you can see down in the bottoms here, there's little white grubs. That's after the egg hatches. The grub starts to grow and they start feeding it.
And what's this?
This here is again the drone brood. Oop, all the way up through here.
So we have drones, a queen, and workers.
The workers, yes, the queen. There's only one queen in the hive. And she, if we see her here, and she isn't marked.
How do you mark her?
We have just a little white paint marker that goes on it, and she'll be dotted right in the center of the back. This year, 1 and 6, I believe, is white.
What do you mean?
Every year they're marked a different color, so that you know how old they are.
I see.
So 1 and 6 is white. Last year, I believe, was blue.
Do beekeepers all over use the same colors?
Yes, it's a universal color.
How heavy is that?
How many bees?
Well, I wondered how heavy just the honey.
This here could be up to like 4 pounds. We've got little eggs in the bottom up in here. There's some little white, looks like a little grain of rice. You can see to the bottom of it. And that's an egg that she has laid. So I would assume that she is fairly close here. here, Michael?
No, I don't. I'm looking for it, but that maybe she was tired of being swarm.
Did you just blow on them?
Yeah. The heat from my breath will disperse them. Because this frame's got more eggs in it. Send this down here.
How often do you check these?
I like to check them about once a week.
You pull each and every frame out once a week?
No, when you don't want them to swarm. When they get too congested, they produce swarm cells, queens, and the queen that is there will they'll shrink her down so she can fly, and then they'll take off with half the hive, so you lose half your honey production. So I like to keep an eye on that. This hive won't swarm because it's so small. Hives, you can take, a lot of times you can just take and flip up the bottom of the box and look down the bottom of it, and they'll produce the queen cells along the bottom of the box.
Does she ever leave?
The only time she'll leave is like if I knock her off. See, here's another one here on top with the pollen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good size pollen. She'll leave when they swarm to produce another hive.
I understand local honey for me might help me with my allergies.
I'm told it does. I've got no proof to it, scientific proof, but people tell me that it helps them a lot.
Well, I know the Sisters of Humility are looking forward to having your honey.
Right here she is. She's unmarked, and she's this bigger one right here. Can you see her?
I have a glare on my phone, but can you point out kind of again?
She's right here.
Oh yeah.
She's quite a bit bigger than the rest.
You have to have a keen eye.
Michael,
What?
right here's this tube.
You gonna paint her?
Yep, I'm going to put a dot on it. This here comes out. Right there, she's right there on top, right here.
Right there?
Yep, right there. Oh, well,
She was.
we won't get her now. She just fell into the box. Oh, nope, she didn't. She's right here. Okay,
We got her?
I think we got her.
Wow.
Yep, she's right there. She's inside of it. And this is just a little paint marker that you can purchase from any of the like Dan Bees or any place like that. And we'll just take and get her up here right. Okay. Put a little dot. Okay. Now we'll just let Michael hold that for a minute.
she were to perish in this process, how soon till they get a new queen?
Well, there's eggs inside here, so they would immediately start making a new queen and start feeding her royal jelly. And then 16 days later, she would come out of her cell. And then probably 2 or 3 days to go out and go on a mating flight, then come back maybe a week later. So you're talking pretty close to a month before she starts laying eggs again. All right, Michael, let's drop her back down in here. Come on. Go on there. She's got her marking on the back of her. Back down here. There she is. Inside. And we'll close this back up.
Wow, that's really great. We got to see that, how you marked her. And so how long will she live?
She can live probably 3-4 years. That's the reason they mark them every 5 years. I'll probably, if this hive survives through winters, probably she'll go this coming winter and maybe go through the following winter, and then I'll replace her.
You'll replace her.
I'll replace her. I'll either pinch her, kill her, and let them form a new queen, or you can buy queens online that are produced. There's a big thing going on right now in our area of Iowa, because we get so cold in the winter that they're saying that the bees from California and Georgia and them don't survive. So a lot of people are picking up, capturing hives that are local hives that have gone through the winters and making queens out of them for their hives. So
Why would you pinch her? Because
she's coming to the end, and you don't want her to just stop laying eggs and the hive not be able to make another queen, not have a fresh egg to make another queen.
You see,
The older the larva is when they make the queen, it isn't as good of a queen. They might have stopped feeding her royal jelly for a couple days and then start up again, and she might not be as good a queen and might not last as long.
I have a question about royal jelly.
Yes, same question you probably asked last year, what it is. It's something the bees make that when the eggs originally laid and it turns into lays down, it's generally standing on end, and then it lays down and they start feeding it royal jelly, which is a production of honey and pollen and whatever enzymes they have in their body to make it. And then on a queen, they continue to feed her this. On a worker bee, they stop feeding her that, and it grows up on a different product. So I'm not a biologist, so I can't.
Oh, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing what they can do. So we can go ahead and close this up.
So we have 6 working hives here. Do you have other hives?
Yes, I've got some hives at my property, and then I've got some over at my sister-in-law's. I keep them separate because these are the Saskatraz, and the other ones are from locally caught bees.
Where are the Saskatraz from?
I think these come out of Georgia, if I'm right. I got these from Lapis Bees, which is in Peru, Iowa. And Border Bees, Farm and Fleet has them, Spring, Tyson's, locally. You can, Danet Bees, you can order them through Kelly Bees. There's, I've got carnelians from Polish Russian bees in Des Moines. that's an experience going in to pick up bees, because you drive up and there's thousands of 3-pound packages of bees with a queen hanging in the center and a little like quart of sugar water. So I guess we're to the part if anybody's got some questions.
Okay. Let's see if I can. I don't think there are any questions, Bob.
There aren't.
No, if anybody has any questions, now's the time. Otherwise, that is our tour of a Prairie Beehive. Thank you, Bob Rowe.
Well, thank you, and this is a beautiful place to have it.
Yes, and we invite everyone to come out to Our Lady of the Prairie Retreat. You can come here for a day or an hour or a week. You can have a private retreat. You can have a group retreat. We have sponsored retreats that you can find at the prairieretreat.org. We have a calendar there with all sorts of wonderful opportunities to come out here for a day or a weekend. And like I said, you can plan your own retreat, whether it be personal or a business meeting or just a bunch of friends that want to relax. Oh, I've got a question.
Yes.
How is the honey harvested?
The honey's harvested by pulling, I use 6 5/8 boxes, which will weigh about 30 pounds for 10 frames. And we take it back, the frame's laid down, a knife's used to cut the caps off, and then it's set into a centrifuge and spun. My honey, the only processing we do on it is to run it through different strainers in order to take the bee parts and the chunks of wax out, and then it's just put into a jar.
Okay.
Now, one of the things a lot of people know and some don't know is that honey will crystallize. If you have crystallized honey, just set it down into a pan of warm water. You don't want to have boiling water. I use water straight out of the tap, as hot as the hot water heater will produce it, and set it down. You might have to change the water several times, but it'll reconstitute it back into it. Get rid of the crystals.
Oh, don't throw that away.
No, that's good. That's good honey.
Well, everybody at the Humility Mary Center says hello.
Hello.
And I think that I'll walk a ways along the path here. If people want to stay tuned in, I'll walk with you. We can come back later. Oh, he's not done. No, it's World Bee Day. Bob was saying earlier that these beehives are not set down, the legs aren't set down into the earth. They're heavy enough, they won't blow over. But the derecho last year knocked over how many?
Knocked over 3 of them.
And did all those bees stay there? Or?
They stayed with the hive, and I just got a call and come out and set them back up.
Oh.
And they were mad, but I was pretty much covered in bees by the time I got done. But they just were set back up, and they did well the rest of the year.
When's the last time you were stung?
Yesterday.
How about you, Mike?
Today.
About 10 minutes ago?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Well, so far I haven't been. How about you, Brule?
Knock on wood.
Well, thank you. There's our hives. Are we getting 2 more hives? Did I hear?
As I separate hives, I will probably be bringing a few more out. We had 8 here last year, and they, like I say, we're gradually getting more hives. So if I have one or two of these hives that throws a queen cell that I haven't caught early enough and put more boxes on so they get too congested, then we'll separate them off into more hives.
Okay. That one you opened up is busy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just going to walk along here with you just to give the audience a chance to see how pretty it is out here.
We're capturing bees in the capture boxes, and this being close to the Wapsie, there's quite a few trees down through the Wapsie that have native hives in them, so we try and catch them and make more hives.
And where are the capture boxes?
The capture boxes aren't out here yet.
I think we saw one last
year.
year.
There was one down here in this oak, and then we had one down over the bottom and one up on the south side. I caught, let's say, 4 swarms out here last year.
Really?
So
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just keep walking if people want to stay tuned here. I believe my internet went in and out there for a second, but it reconnected.
Uh-oh, here comes some folks.
Yeah, we're having a retreat today. There are 12 people here, and I think they're on a break, and they're coming to take a look at the bees. You can see in the distance our Prairie Heights Retreat Center peeking out. You can spend the night. We have 10 bedrooms for overnight guests. Delicious meals, all from our gardens and local farmers.
One of the best things I enjoy about beekeeping is getting young people involved.
Mm-hmm.
My grandsons get involved with me. I have suits for them. I have a young fella that is in the Long Grove School and elementary school, and him and some of his friends have formed a little group, and they're looking for bees. They're trying to maybe capture a hive so that they can start their own hives.
That's a wonderful project.
So he was out with me last week and looked through some of my hives. A great bunch of kids. I've had them in an observation hive into the Mississippi Valley Fair 2 years ago before the COVID thing set in. And the kids are drastically drawn to it.
Yes.
Fascination. Their fascination in it is really, really good. So hopefully with these young kids being environmentalists,
mm-hmm.
and helping clean up our air and our water, and that will bring the bees along too.
Yep. That's what we have hope for.
I'm sure hoping for it. Maybe climate change will settle down a little bit.
Well, places like the Prairie Retreat, no pesticides, plenty of flowers and pollinator strips for the bees to Finally, I don't hear any buzzing.
Is there anything on bees?
What do you mean?
These bee attraction bees. Not just, there's a honeybee. That will attract bees of all kinds.
And the bees in your hives are honeybees.
The bees in the hives are honeybees.
What is this?
I don't know if Bob knows what it is.
Is this honeysuckle?
It looks like a honeysuckle, perhaps a honeysuckle bush. Honeysuckle vines have that same...
Sister Margaret would know.
Yeah. There's going to be a retreat, I believe, coming up with experts who can identify those kind of things, and everybody's welcome to walk around and learn about the flora and fauna around here.
Cool. I like the prairies, all the wildflowers. Trying to get the
prairie fields that you see have been tended to, and lots of flowers will be popping up. It's just beautiful out here every day of the year. We have walking paths all through the prairie grasses, such as what we're walking on. These walking paths are actually instrumental in prairie burns, so that they can burn certain sections. Oh, look, that's what he looks like.
I'm waiting for the last year, and they just the area just buzzes. There's so many bees of different types. There's the bumblebees, they call them yellow jackets, mason bees.
They haven't bloomed. My crabapple already bloomed.
Maybe
We'll be able to tell. Warmer in Davenport. You can come out and walk the labyrinth. Look at that, the sun's coming out. Well, gentlemen, I think we'll sign off.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Mike. Brule.
And it's a great day at the Prairie.
Every day is a great day, and every day is bee day at the Prairie.
Yeah.
Okay, go buy some honey, everyone.
My local honey.
Local honey.